Alright, in this video we are gonna discuss more about mapping. So what is mapping? In Solidity, mapping is a data structure that allows you to create key value associations between data. It is similar to dictionary or hash map in other programming languages. Mapping are used to store the retrieved values based on unique keys. So I'm gonna teach you how to make a simple version of mapping, and then how to type the nested version of mapping, and then how to set it on your own local variable, how to get it and how to delete it. And before that, I'm going to tell you about a simple example of mapping. For example, I'm gonna looking for delta, and then if we don't have any mapping, then we are going to searching up any other function like alpha, beta, and charlie, and in this default statement there is no delta at all. But if we use mapping, we are going to create even more efficient of function, and it will result the alpha equals to true, beta equals to true, and charlie equals to true. It means there is no delta at all. So within this mapping version of function, we are going to create even more efficient of function. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the example. As usual, we are going to type spdx and then license identifier of MIT, then pragma solidity of the current version, and in this version I'm going to use caret 0.8.18, and then after that I'm gonna let the comment right up. So down below, create contract and then name it with mapping. Open up the curly brace and then how to create the mapping. First and foremost, type mapping, and then open up the parenthesis and then fill it up with address, and then equals to greater than uint, type public so everyone can read it, and then named it with is balance. And then how to create the nested version of mapping. First and foremost, type mapping and then address, and then equals to greater than, and then type another mapping, open up another parenthesis and then fill it up with address, create the data types of booleans, and then type public, and then named it with is attached, because it is attached from this mapping and then this mapping as well. So that's why we're gonna name it with is attached. So I'm gonna give you a direct example of mapping inside of the function and how to use it. So function, and then named it with example, and then type external, because we are going to modify it. External, open up the curly brace and then type is balance as the name of the mapping, is balance, and then after that type message.sender. We are going to use a global variable inside of that, and then create the value of the message to sender, and that is, for example, we are going to use 1 to 3. And then after that, how to store the value of uint right here. So in here, type uint and then name it with bal, stands for is balance, and then type is balance, type the value that we already stored before, is balance, and then open up the square bracket, type with msg.sender, semicolon, and how to create another address and value from the mapping. So basically we are going to create the updated address of is balance. So type uint, named it with new balance, is equals to is balance msg.sender, I'm sorry, address 1. So what does that mean? It means this function are going to update the new address of the default address. So the default value of the address is 0. So this function are going to create the value of 0. So after that, I'm going to teach you how to get the value or add the value of mapping. So in order to do that, type is balance as the name of the variable of mapping, and then msg.sender is equals to another value, whatever you want to add it. Type another uint 456, for example, and this will create the value of 123 plus 456. Then the result is 579. And then after that, how to delete it? Type delete and then type is balance of message.sender, and boom, it will create the value of 0. And then last thing that I'm going to teach you is how to create even more advanced of function from the nested version of mapping. In this function especially, there you go, line 13. So how to write that? Type the named of the mapping first, is attached, and then open up the square bracket and then fill it up with message to sender, and then open up another square bracket and then fill it up with address this, and then equals to the boolean, and that is true or false basically. And there you go. Here's the sum up of mapping.